Hello students, this is Miss Dhandore SS, and again we'll start with the next part of coordination compounds. But before that, again I'm reminding you to like, share and subscribe my channel so that you will get notifications of new videos there. So in coordination compounds, last time we have seen postulates of Warner's theory. Today we'll see the next part of that. Here, according to Warner's theory, there are two, I'll write here, there are two valencies. There are two valencies in which what? Primary valencies are primary valencies. These are present in ionization sphere, outermost sphere, ionization sphere. This is outermost sphere, and these valencies are completely ionizable. Completely ionizable in aqueous medium. In aqueous medium. So, primary valencies are present in outermost sphere or ionization sphere, and these valencies are completely ionizable or completely dissociable in aqueous medium. I'll write this below. Ionizable in aqueous medium. Then one more is there, and that is the secondary valencies are also there, and these secondary valencies, actually these are present in inner sphere, and this is your coordination sphere. Coordination sphere. And these valencies are undissociable or unionizable. Undissociable in aqueous media. Then the next one is, according to Warner, the secondary valencies are responsible for the geometrical shape of the compound. So, according to Warner, what? The secondary valencies actually they fix the geometrical shape or arrangement of atoms in space. Geometrical shape of the compound. For example, if the secondary valency is 4, for example, I'll write here, if secondary valency, it is also called as a coordination number. This is also called as a coordination number is 4. Then the geometrical shape may be either it is a square planar or tetrahedral. If coordination number or secondary valency is 6, then the geometrical shape may be octahedral there. So this is about the postulates of Warner's theory. Then Warner did one experiment with the compound. He took one compound CO, then Cl3, NH3, 6, and this compound when reacts with excess of AgNO3, then there is a formation of AgCl precipitate. It is a white colored precipitate, and here there is a formation of 3 moles. 3 moles of AgCl precipitate is formed when you took COCl3 NH36 plus excess of AgNO3. In another reaction, again he took COCl3, but one NH3 molecule less than the previous one, 5, with excess of AgNO3. Again there is a formation of AgCl precipitate, but here only 2 moles of AgCl is formed. I'll write here only 2 moles. Then he took one more compound in which again COCl3 and NH3, 4. When it reacts with again excess of AgNO3, then in that case again there is a formation of AgCl precipitate, but here the only 1 mole of AgCl precipitate is formed. So from all these reaction, he came to conclusion that the cobalt CO, it is a central metal atom, and it keeps 6 bond intact here, 6 bonds unbreakable in aqueous medium. So cobalt, which is a central metal atom, its secondary valency or coordination number is 6, and it keeps 6 bonds intact. So the cobalt in first compound NH3 6, this is present in coordination sphere. That means these are the coordination entities. Coordination entities you can show in coordination sphere with the help of square bracket here, and outside the square bracket Cl3 ions are there. That means Cl3 present in the ionization sphere, and when it reacts with excess of AgNO3, the Cl3 completely ionized, and there is a formation of 3 moles of AgCl precipitate. In another compound, wherever one NH3 molecule is less than the previous one, 5 molecules of NH3 are there, then in that case for the 6 bonds it required 1 more chloride ion, and so it took 1 more chloride from ionization sphere, and there is a formation of, that means it is a CO NH3 5, 1 more chloride is taken from ionization sphere, 1 more chloride ion enters in coordination sphere and remains unprecipitated, while in ionization sphere only 2 chloride atoms are there, ions are there, 2 chloride ions are there, which reacts with Ag plus, and there is a formation of 2 moles of AgCl. In another one, again only 4 molecules of NH3, so it requires 2 more chloride ion, and so here there is a formation of again CO NH3 4 Cl2, it takes 2 chloride ion from ionization sphere Cl, only 1 chloride is there in ionization sphere, which react with excess of Ag plus, and there is a formation of AgCl, only 1 mole of AgCl. So from all these reaction he came to conclusion that every time the cobalt, that is a central metal atom, keeps 6 bond intact, and these are the coordination entities. So in coordination sphere the coordination entities are unbreakable, these are firmly bounded with each other, and these are connected. Central metal ion acts as a Lewis acid, while the other acts as a ligand or Lewis base is there, which can donate a pair of electron for the bond formation. Then here one more thing is there, in the all these reactions, one more thing he came to know, that a chloride ion plays a vital role or important role. It acts as a primary valencies also and secondary valencies also. When it present in the ionization sphere, it shows the primary valencies, but when it enters in coordination sphere and remains unprecipitated, it is a coordination entity, and so it shows the secondary valency also. So wherever according to necessity, actually wherever necessary, according to necessity, from ionization sphere it enters into coordination sphere, and it acts as a secondary valencies, or it acts as a ligand there. So this is an experiment done by Warner. Let us see the classification of coordination compound, and this classification of coordination compound depends on the type of ligands, and also the charge on the coordination sphere, or the net charge on the coordination sphere. So we'll see first classification of coordination compounds. In classification of coordination compounds, first is classification based on types of ligands there. So first is your homoleptic. First is homoleptic. Homo means same or similar type. So in homoleptic coordination compounds or homoleptic complex, same type of ligands are present here. We'll take example of K4 FeCN6. So here Fe is your central metal atom. I'll write it as CMA, central metal atom, while Cn is your ligand. Fe is your, I'll write here, this acts as a Lewis acid. It accepts electron pair, while this is your Lewis base. Homoleptic. Same type of ligands are present there. Then another one is a heteroleptic. Heteroleptic. So in heteroleptic, different types of ligands are there. We'll take here example of again CO, then NH3, 5Cl, Cl2. So here again CO, this is your central metal atom, CMA, central metal atom, while the ligands are NH3 and Cl minus. These are the ligands. Different ligands are there. Here also the CMA, that is central metal atom, is your Lewis acid, as it accepts electron pair, while the another one is your Lewis base, as it donates electron pair there. So this is the classification based on the ligands. The another one is a classification of coordination compound, which is based on the charges or the net charge on the coordination sphere. I'll write here only based on the charges. Charge on coordination sphere. So the classification, when it is based on charge on coordination sphere, we'll take here example of, same example we'll take K4 FeCN6. So here on ionization you will get here 4 K plus ions and FeCN6 4 minus ions. So net charge on the coordination sphere is a negative, and so this is called as a negatively charged or this is also called as a anionic complex. Anionic complex. Very simple. When negative charge is there on the coordination sphere, it is a negatively charged complex or anionic complex. Another one is your, this is first one. Second one, you take example of, second example is of CO, then NH3, 6, Cl3. So this on ionization you will get here CO, then NH3, 6, 3 plus 3 Cl minus. So now charge on the coordination sphere is a positive charge, and hence these are called as a positively charged complex, or these are cationic complex. Cationic complex here. Very simple. And the last one is your, third is your neutral complex. If the net charge is 0, then in that case it is a neutral complex. I'll write here only Ni, then CO4. We'll take one more Fe, then CO5. So if you consider these examples, the net charge on the coordination sphere is 0, and these complexes are called as neutral complexes. Neutral complex. So you can see charge on the coordination sphere, and accordingly you find out whether it is anionic complex or cationic complex or neutral complex here. Simple thing, when the counter ion is your metal, then in that case definitely it is anionic complex. Counter ion when it is present to left hand side of the coordination sphere, then it is definitely anionic complex. When your counter ion is present to right hand side, then in that case it is cationic complex. That means when counter ion is present, counter ion is your non-metal, then in that case your complex will be cationic complex. When counter ion is your metal, then in that case the complex is anionic complex. Wherever metal is present in ionization sphere, it is at left hand side. Wherever non-metals are present, then it is right towards the right hand side. So this is about the classification of coordination compound based on charge on coordination sphere. If the charge is a negative, then it is an anionic complex. If the charge on the coordination sphere is a positive, it is cationic complex. If there is a no charge or the charge is 0, then in that case it is a neutral complex. And if same type of ligands are there, then it is a homoleptic. If different types of ligands are there in coordination sphere, then these are the heteroleptic complexes. So this is about the classification of coordination compounds. Next time we'll see the terms used in coordination compounds here.